Jurassic World Evolution 3 is basically confirmed, and it will be released probably in July of this year alongside the highly anticipated Jurassic World Rebirth. We are all wondering how different the game will be from the Jurassic World Evolution 2 and what new features will be added. The game is of course all about dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, and I am sure that the third part of the game will include some new species that we didn't see in the franchise before. I hope that all the species that were already included in Jurassic World Evolution 2 will also be available in Jurassic World Evolution 3 from the very beginning, and that the game will include some new and exciting animals. So here is my wish list of prehistoric creatures that I would love to see in Jurassic World Evolution 3 that were not previously included. This list includes 40 different species that I would love to see in the game, but the order is completely random. I hope I won't butcher their names too much, but some are real tongue twisters. Hello guys, this is Caesar Creates and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so here is the list. First up, the dino that I just know will be in the game because it was included in the trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth. The Titanosaurus, that might have been one of the largest terrestrial animals of all time. By the way, I really hope that they will include the fighting for the sauropods, because this guy looks like it would absolutely have the ability to defend himself. Next up, another dino that was actually already included in the franchise but we didn't see it in Jurassic World Evolution 2, the Bacchus Spinax that was featured in Chaos Theory series. Another dino that I would say is pretty much confirmed at this point for Jurassic World Rebirth because of some toy leaks is a small Aquilops, and I am totally here for this addition. One of my biggest wishes for Jurassic World Evolution 3 is deep water and swimming for certain dinos, or just connecting the lagoons to the land somehow so that the animals like Spinosaurus can use the water sections of its exhibits. I hope that this scene from the movie trailer is a teaser for that. With that being said, I would love to see the prehistoric crocodilian such as the Dinosuchus in the game. The first theropod on my list is the Gorgosaurus. Its name means dreadful lizard, and I know how much the community loves all the dreadful dinos. My other wish is smaller sizes of aviaries and lagoons that would be more realistic for holding species such as the Archaeopteryx. Frontier showed us that they are more willing to add tiny dinos with some recent DLCs for Evolution 2, and I really hope that they will continue that for Evolution 3. And here is the first ceratopsid on my list, the Protoceratops. It was a small species but still bigger than the Microceratus that we had in Evolution 2, and I would really like to see a wider size variation of the dinos in the future game. Speaking of the size, here is one of the largest known land animals of all times, the Argentinosaurus, which was of course discovered in Argentina. Megaraptor was a large theropod with big claws, a perfect contender for some brutal killing animations in the game. This dino, the Ichthyovenator, was a piscivore closely related to Spinosaurus, and it also had a very impressive sail on its back. The apex predator of the Triassic period, the large Saurosuchus, moved on its 4 legs and measured 7 meters. Let's move to something more gentle now. The beautiful Lambeosaurus was a hadrosaur with a distinctive crest discovered in North America. I think that the Brontosaurus is one of the most well-known sauropods, so I am very surprised that it wasn't included in the game up to this point. This is the first ankylosaurid on my list, the Tarchia. It was discovered in Mongolia by a Polish paleontologist, and its name refers to its big brain. The next dino that I would really like to see in the game is a large ceratopsid called Archelosaurus. It had characteristic pair of spikes on its frill and strongly developed nasal bones. The biggest prehistoric whale that ever lived with exceptionally long teeth is a Leviathan. It would be a really nice addition to the lagoon species roster, and I assume that it could have some really incredible killing animations. I had to include at least one stegosaur on my list, and I decided to include the Miragaia, which is most notable for its long neck, something that is quite unusual for a stegosaur. Kuru was a smaller theropod from Mongolia that belonged to the same family as the Velociraptor. I recently found out about this dino, and I just had to include it because it is named after my favorite animal. It is a Giraffa titan. The name absolutely makes sense as it was a long-necked dinosaur that lived in Africa. Heterodontosaurus is a tiny and a very unique dinosaur because it is the only member of its family, and it is known for its unusual teeth. it had 3 different types of teeth while most reptiles have only 1. With a grand total of 15 horns and spikes on its head, the Cosmosaurus has been nicknamed the horniest dinosaur ever. It had 10 horns and spikes on its frill, 2 horns above each eye, 1 horn on the tip of its nose and 1 horn coming out of each cheek. I don't think that we had any dinos from the Plateosaurid family in the previous game, so I think that the Plateosaurus would be a quite unique addition to the herbivore roster. The name of this theropod, the Rajasaurus, means the king lizard. It had 1 horn on its forehead and was discovered in India. The Nyctosaurus was a prehistoric flying reptile that possessed an extraordinary large antler-like cranial crest. This dino from the Iguanodontian family, the Tenentosaurus, had an unusually long broad tail, which like its back was stiffened with network of bony tendons. We have some pretty tiny dinos in the game, so why not include a prehistoric frog as well? The Belzebufo was a huge frog that could eat relatively large prey, perhaps even juvenile dinosaurs. The Edmontonia, another member of the Ankylosauria on my list, was named after the Edmonton Formation in Canada, where it was discovered. This is the Dromaeosaurus, a medium-sized carnivore from the late Cretaceous that lived in North America. Another Dromaeosaurid that I would like to see in the game is a bigger Austroraptor. Its name might suggest that it lived in Australia, but it was actually discovered in Argentina. The Psittacosaurus was one of the earliest ceratopsids, and its name means the parrot lizard. The Mosasaurus walked on all 4 legs in its early stages of life. However, adults were medium-sized bipedal herbivores, which basically means that they walked on 2 hind legs. Another sauropod on my list is the Icysaurus, a titanosaurian dinosaur from the late Cretaceous that lived in today's terrains of India and Pakistan. Nanoxaurus is a theropod that lived in the area of today's Alaska in cold temperatures. Its name means a polar bear lizard, and it is highly possible that it was covered in thick layer of feathers. This large hadrosaur is a Saurolophus. It is distinguished by a spike-like crest and could move about either bipedally or quadrupedally, just like a much more known Parasaurolophus. Pterodaustro had about 1,000 bristle-like modified teeth in its lower jaws that might have been used to strain crustaceans, plankton, algae and other small creatures from the water. The helmeted thief, the Corythoraptor, was an oviraptoid with a tall crest similar to the one of the modern cassowary. Torvosaurus would be a perfect addition to the roster of large theropods. It had a characteristic elongated and narrow snout. Secernosaurus was a duck-billed dinosaur and the first species of South American hadrosaurs to be formally named. Most of the hadrosaurs in the game are from North America or Asia, so this one would be a nice addition to the roster of South American dinos. This tiny dino with huge eyes from Australia is the Lianosaura. We all love when they add those small adorable creatures, so this one would be a perfect addition. Last but not least, the Scorpiovenator, the carnivore from South America with a short and blunt skull that somewhat resembled that of the Carnotaurus. I know that my list didn't include any prehistoric mammals like Smilodon, Mammoth or Megatherium, but I still don't know how I feel about their possible inclusion in Jurassic World Evolution 3. I think that it would be a high selling point for the game, but I always associated this game with dinosaurs and prehistoric reptiles, not mammals. Would you guys like to see mammals in the game? What do you think about that? Smilodon was featured in Camp Cretaceous, and that's why I think that there is a possibility that the mammals would be eventually introduced. Maybe I will do a second wish list for the prehistoric mammals in the future. Who knows? Let me know down in the comments what you think about my list. Did it include some of your most requested species, or maybe there are some other dinos that you would like to see in Jurassic World Evolution 3? If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, ring the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!